there, and welcome to Let's Talk About. I am your host, Caffeinated Katie, and this is where I talk about, well, whatever I want. I think the time has finally come for me to talk about the sequel to Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem. I think that not actually a lot of people know that this movie came out, because you hear people talk shit about Alien vs. Predator, but you don't hear anybody talk about Alien vs. Predator Requiem. And it was in theaters. I saw this in theaters. I paid to see this. I paid to see this time and time again just by paying for the fucking DVD. It was a very traumatizing and emotionally exhausting experience. But how do we get through trauma other than talking about it? So, because I am a cinematic masochist, let's talk about Alien vs. Predator Requiem. So, before we dive on into this pile of shit that is the sequel to Alien vs. Predator, I have to bring up some weird coincidences that AvP and AvP2 have to Mortal Kombat and Mortal Kombat Annihilation. It's like those weird like the coincidences that people have found between like the Kennedy assassination and the Lincoln assassination. It's weird because when Mortal Kombat came out, they were pissing and moaning that you're taking this gory, video game and turning it into a PG-13 movie. AvP got the same thing when it came out because you're taking two rated R franchises and making it into a PG-13 movie. They both had shitty sequels. They were both directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. They both ended on sequel bait, but not necessarily the kind of sequel bait that you need to make a movie out of afterwards. They both, and the craziest thing of all, well, maybe this isn't that crazy, but whatever, is that each movie had a different director afterwards. They didn't have Paul W.S. Anderson as the director. They had some other loser. But it's just I just had to go off about that. So AvPR starts off basically at the end of AvP when we, spoiler alert, see a chest burster burst out of the predator that was the lead predator. I think they dubbed him Scar because of the scar on his helmet. Anyway, we see that happen, and as it was dubbed, Pred Alien. Actually, I have a figurine of that dude. It's like my least favorite figurine because it looks so fucking freakish. Here we go. See this guy? See that? This is what you're not going to see in the movie because it's going to be, well, we'll get to that part. Would you just stay in my lap, honey? So the Pred Alien tears up the whole ship, kills everyone, and of course it crashes to Earth, and it's seen by a father and son who are hunting, and it's pretty easy to ascertain what happened to them. We cut to Dallas, who is a convict who just got released from prison, and he's just trying to start over. He gets picked up by the friendly cop, who we are just going to call Friendly Cop because I can't remember his name. What was his name? Oh my god. I just fucking what? You know what? It doesn't matter. Then we cut to Comic Guy's little brother, Ricky, who is a pizza delivery guy, and he has to deliver a pizza to his crush, who I'm just going to call Hot Blonde Crush. And of course, Hot Blonde Crush is dating the asshole jock. We then cut to Woman Soldier O'Brien coming home, and her daughter starts to go through her bag and takes something out and immediately says, "Are these for me?" I don't know why, but that one scene, that one line with that one little girl pisses me off so much. Who fucking goes into someone else's belongings, finds something, and it's just like, "Oh, is this for me?" Not even, I cut to Dallas and Ricky in the sewers looking for Ricky's keys because asshole Jock threw them down the storm drain, and due to plot convenience, they find them within minutes. So the town is looking in the forest where the Predator ship crashed. They're looking for the father and son who were hunting, and there's a police officer who comes across a Predator. And apparently now Predator has this like blue goo stuff that it's pretty much like acid, and it destroys all traces of insert thing. So you never see it ever after this movie, and they never explain it, and we never saw it before this movie. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say that it was a plot device. So Predator gets got blue gooing some evidence of the aliens being there. I'm sorry, can I hear that again? One more time, I'm not sure I heard it properly. What the fuck is that? I have heard aliens growl, and I have heard predators growl. That is something completely different. And not different as in good. Different as in... So Ricky has a date with his hot blonde crush to go swimming at the school. He gets into a fight with the asshole jock because the asshole jock shows up and is like, oh, I taught that slut everything she knows. And they get into a fight. But then the power goes out due to Alien versus Predator. Look, Predator's taking his epinephrine because he's allergic to the bullshit that is this fucking movie. That guy looks like a cross between M. Night Shyamalan and Fred Armisen. He's M. Night Armisen.
Stupid to talk, Dale. Shut up.
Burn? So the group, Dallas, Ricky, friendly cop, hot blonde, and asshole jock all gather weapons to defend themselves. Brian's husband gets killed, and she grabs her daughter and runs. The National Guard shows up, but they get picked off by the aliens. Brian meets up with the rest of the group, and then we have the maternity ward scene. So many questions. First and foremost being, why are the chest bursters now bursting out of people's stomachs? Because they're called chest bursters for a reason. They burst out of your chest. And I'm not... What are you doing in this scene? Because as far as I know with alien reproduction, that's not a thing. And it kind of even makes me uncomfortable to think about, because that means that like the mini mouth is also like a dick, because it's like you see the I guess there's supposed to be eggs or whatever going down her throat, which I mean I am so hung up on this one part of the movie because, yeah, I'm pretty sure they did it for the shock value of all the you know, I guess they're stomach bursters now coming out of the stomach, but it's just like the lead up to make it make sense. So they split the party to evacuate and defend. O'Brien thinks that the government is lying to them because the government told them to get to the center of town and they would pick them up there. But she has figured out that that doesn't make any sense, and that they're actually going to kill everybody in the town by nuking the place.
We'll be surrounded by those things. I think the colonel was lying.
I mean, we can only hope.
All right, listen up. Everybody's got to choose. I'm going to the hospital with the tank.
We all need to go to the center of town.
They get to the hospital and go up to get to the helipad. Alien, and regular Predator, we call them regular, are all fighting at the hospital. In the crossfire, Hot Blonde gets killed. They finally get to the helipad and the group runs to the helicopter.
Get to the chopper!
Yay, he said the thing! And I still fucking hate it. I'm all for, using lines from a previous movie, but don't do it just to pander to the fans and be like, hey, remember that? He said that thing in that other movie that was so much better than this one. So Dallas gets his ass whooped, and now Predators have whips, which is very cool. But when did they come across this whip technology? I mean, this is very cool, and therefore I do think it's just a blatant display of the rule of cool.
Because it's cool.
So O'Brien was right, the government is nuking the town, and we end on the Alien and Predator in a lover's embrace. Yeah, kiss. This movie just sucks. It's a merciful 94 minutes long, but that's 94 minutes that I will never get back. And considering how many times I've watched it, that's probably like 4.5 hours I'll never get back. But
Live, huh?
the dialogue, the ADR, the plot holes, the plot convenience, and oh my god, the lighting is all just, you can't ignore it. I'm sure some of these alien fights would have been cool if I could fucking see them. So if someone ever tells you, hey, let's watch AVPR, tell them to go fuck themselves. I'm done. I'm done. So if you liked this video, like, comment, subscribe, share it with your friends, and as always, stay caffeinated. Look, they're friends now. They're gonna walk off into the sunset, skipping and, falling in love. Maybe that went on for too long, I don't know. Don't keep that. Oh no, it's to fuck, okay. Let's not use that. No. So we then cut to regular just call him regular Predator. Listen, what am I even talking about? Let's not use that one. No! Shit. Let me pick that up now. Okay. So what am I doing?